The beauty of failure. Have you ever noticed that if you were to explore the idea of beauty and you would go and look at the word and the images that are associated with the word beauty, you'll probably find that most of the pictures or images there are women. Interesting. Today, I'd like to explore the idea of this concept of success and failure. Look at the words in of themselves, and you will see that they have the same equal number of letters, but for the want of a better decision-making situation here, it's just the flip side of one word to the other. Most of us would like to see success, but you know what? Success and failure goes hand in hand. Now, those people that can handle success would say, well, if you consider that you have failed, you will then think about the fact that you need to move on. That being said, I really kind of enjoyed failure because my whole life has been really a series of failures that then in turn end up in another situation, which is success. But success in of itself is only a word that depends upon what the other people are thinking. Now, as time goes by, we see great leaders who will come in and give us an idea of what success is, and they will define it for us. And in doing so, they then in turn give us an idea of where we need to be. So this concept of failure and success goes hand in hand because we can see so many people who have gone through this trial and tribulation period already. And if you will read what they have to say, they will tell you, hey, this is where I am now. So it's a position in life. Now, when I said I have failed, when I first started the first grade, I was really involved in a situation where I couldn't understand what was going on because my first language was Chinese. We had it at home all day long, but when it came time for us to go to school, I realized that, I couldn't understand anything they were saying. And the traumatic situation was that when all the other students were asked to move to the next grade, each student filed to the different part of the room, I was the only one that was left in the room. I was put back to the first grade again, required to take that particular situation over again. How do you think a youngster would feel when he sees all of his friends and associates moving in one direction and he has to be left behind? That being said, failure and success really depends upon two elements here: how society looks at it and how you look at it. Society would appreciate you doing something and having some result in what you're doing. But from your point of view, if you do something with the idea that you must meet that expectation of society, then you are already a failure. Because then you will not see success unless you can then in turn convince yourself that that's really where you need to be. Now look at this concept of failure. Failure is not falling down, but refusing to give up. if you do that, then you are, in essence, weighing the idea that, oh, okay, success is only a matter of interpretation. What makes it really different is those people who are successful are the ones who have an attitude. They don't really give a care because they are saying, I feel whatever I do will be. Now, if attitude is the factor that determines what you are in terms of success and failure, then you can then in turn look at some of the other people who have gone before you and have taken the attitude that, hey, I am successful. I am just doing something. There was a gentleman who had been working on a process of lighting up our lives for more than 20 to 30 years, and he realized that, hey, I am experimenting with this concept of creating light for somebody else, maybe, but he was probably more inclined to believe that he was making light for himself or creating a process. That was Edison. He tried to put light in front of himself as well as other people 1,000 times. He had 1,000 failures before he finally met success. So his attitude was the one that determined whether he was successful or not. Now, obviously, if you look at some of the other people who are saying, hey, this is really where you need to be. Failure is not a situation where you can say, oh, all right, I accept it, but then again, I accept it only for the fact that I will know that by doing it over and over again with the right attitude, I will one day be successful. Now, you are at the crossroad in life, and you're trying to determine the direction you need to take. Signs point in many directions. If you let society govern you, then failure will come readily. If you let yourself and your mind and your heart govern you, then the concept of success and failure is only a precept that you will go through until you reach that point in life where you become successful to yourself and eventually being a useful citizen to society. There are many people who have gone through this road and this route, and they themselves have taken the choice of saying, hey, I can go through all of these concepts if I let other people determine whether I am or am not a success, but I choose not to. I choose just to take what I know that I can do and make it into something that would be useful not only for me, but for other people. But there again, this concept of failure does involve risk, and the concept of success requires risk. If you're not willing to accept the risk, then the chances of you either being successful or being a failure will be very likely because you're not willing to take that particular road that you need to take. So, you think about it, failure is an opportunity to begin again. But from each lesson that you learn, hopefully you will make a much more intelligent guess from the things that occurred in your past. If you do that, then it's just a matter of time before you reach that point that you want to be. So if you are taking that journey down that road, then you will only be successful. And the end will come when you realize, hey, it's time to go and complete the journey and realize that the end is here for us now.